Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Action Figure Showcase, we're going to take a look at my United Empire collection. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I'm going to look at the United Empire collection that I have, and that is the faction, stable, whatever you want to call it, that Will Ospreay has led, that is not technically a stable anymore, but also is not broken apart. Everyone in the stable was kind of they didn't belong anywhere necessarily. They wrestled in New Japan, and those New Japan guys obviously wrestle in like smaller promotion in indies. So this group has always been a little bit spread out, but I wanted to make some of the more prominent members. And as far as this collection goes, I've made about everyone I want to. There are some people that I don't have in my collection, but they're not really well known, at least in my opinion. So I feel like I've covered the core of the group, and maybe we can add in some more later, but I wanted to take a look at all of these together. So first one we have here is Jeff Cobb, who's made plenty of appearances in AEW. I know I want to say he was the never open weight champion at some point, or maybe he is now. I'm really not up to date with my New Japan wrestling right now. Just been too busy to try to catch anything outside of WWE and even just a little bit of AEW. But for my Jeff Cobb here, I use a Federation head sculpt, and then I use the Rhino body. So relatively easy as far as the formula. The arms on him are different. Those Rhino arms that we initially got are absolutely redonkulous. So I swapped those out for some Rusev arms, painted those up, and really it was a relatively simple custom. I did have to paint the torso as well. These decals I got from 3XR Studio, but I enjoyed Jeff Cobb. I watched him in New Japan. I've liked what I've seen when he's been in AEW. He was in Lucha Underground as well, and like I said, I've been impressed every time I've seen him. So he was one I wanted to get to for quite a while, but I was excited I could finally add him to the Empire collection here. Next up is Great Okan, and admittedly with him, the only stuff I've really seen has been when he was in AEW. So he's done some tag matches with Jeff Cobb, and I've seen like clips of him in New Japan, but that was about it. I really enjoyed his time in AEW, though. I think him and Jeff Cobb had a match against FTR at one point, and maybe it was at one of the Forbidden Doors, but I thought he was very entertaining. He's like I wouldn't say he's a comedy character, but he has like comedy moves kind of in his move set. Maybe maybe it's just because I watched him in AEW, but any move where you just like sit on a guy's head, I think you've got a little bit of comedy in your repertoire. But Okan here, this head sculpt again from Federation, which nope, I'm gonna just stop myself here there. This is from Federation. This is one of my favorite paint jobs I've done on a head sculpt. I really like how the beard came out on it. The ponytail looks good. I think it's a great likeness. Used a Kevin Owens body, some Daniel Bryan arms, and he probably could be a little bit bulkier, but as far as the formula goes with him, I thought that this captured how his body looks pretty well. He's also worn like longer pants, so maybe like a Sultan figure, like those pants would work well for him, but that's for another day. Maybe we'll come back around. These legs, I don't remember who they were from, but just maybe like some Jericho sized legs. I can't remember if these are on ball joints or not. Nope, not on ball joints. So I think that's a Hacksaw Jim Duggan torso or crotch piece, and then lowers are from a Stone Cold maybe. I don't remember. Anyway, there's Great Okan. Next up are the most recent additions I had to this stable, and it is Aussie Open. They were kind of the last couple I wanted to get before I had them on showcase here, but Work in Progress Wednesday featured both of these guys. A lot went into them. The formula for the Mark Davis was essentially just a Lord Tensai with, I think, the kick pads swapped out, and then the Kyle Fletcher is a Seth Rollins with a Barry Windham torso. And then both of these head sculpts were from House 14. Don't know if they are on Craniac's website after he bought him out. But I really like these head sculpts. I know Heteration does have a couple as well. I have not purchased those. I don't plan to make these guys again. Kyle Fletcher I do plan to make, but not an Aussie Open version like we have right here. Really like these decals. I didn't try to necessarily match everyone, but I did try to go with kind of like the green, black. Like, I wanted to have them loose, like look like they at least belong in the same group. So that's the way I went with my Aussie Open here. But these guys, like I said, these were a couple that I thought were must-haves if I was going to do this collection showcase. So glad to have Aussie Open. Next up is the current New Japan Strong Champion, Aaron Henare, and this is another one I made on Work in Progress Wednesday. This one was a lot of fun because I had to think outside the box quite a bit. He wears like Muay Thai shorts, and we do not have a good mold for that from Mattel. You could maybe use like Hook's legs, but those like the molds that we have, like Hook or Wesley, we're gonna be way too scrawny. So used like MVP legs, I think, with the Usos crotch piece here. Everything else was from the waist up is from Rock Elite, and then that head sculpt again is from House 14 with those decals, the tattoos on the face being from 3XR. So I had a lot of fun putting this together. It's just a very different look, and I've enjoyed watching his matches because he just mauls people, and I think I like that. I feel like we like wrestling has kind of moved away from that. Like everyone loves the big meaty men, and you know he absolutely fits that mold. So the Aaron Henare here, I had a lot of fun making. I like that I was able to add him to the collection. I think House 14 is the only person that has done head sculpts with him, and he's done one with the bald hair, with the bald tattooed face look, as well as the longer hair before he kind of made that shift. So I was really happy I was able to grab that. But I don't know if Craniac Studios, I need to just order from Craniac. I know I keep saying like I got this from House 14, don't know if it's on the shop. I need to just go through the shop, see what's available, make a few orders, and then I can give you a little bit better insight. But until then, here is my Aaron Henare. Moving on. Next up, we have the former WWE Cruiserweight Champion TJ Perkins here, the inaugural winner of the only Cruiserweight tournament, I think. I don't think they did another one after that, which is unfortunate. It was incredible. I absolutely loved it. Anyway, the TJP here was so fun to make. I used some Buddy Matthews, whatever, upper legs for him, some Sami Zayn lowers, including the boots, painted those up a little bit, and then all of the decals are from Curb Stomp. And I've said before, I love doing tattoos. Obviously, they're clear tattoos. The clear decals always go on a lot easier than the ones with colored backgrounds. And the tattoos always add so much character to customs. And he's got a lot. Like, he's got sleeves on both sides. So I had a lot of fun with this. And the updated look for him I thought was really cool. I can't remember what his, like, demon alter ego is called. I cannot think of it off the top of my head. That is what I would like Heteration to do, to add to the site. Would be the oh man, I cannot think of what it is. Just look up TJP demon look. It is I can't remember. It's based off like a Filipino folk tale. That could be wrong too. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'll do my fact checking after I post, but something along those lines. I know if you Google that, you'll eventually stumble across it, so it's worth checking out. But I think my TJP custom here is also worth checking out, but we've got one more member to get to, so let's move on. And you cannot have a United Empire collection without the most prominent member here. We've got Will Ospreay, and this is like one of the first Will Ospreay customs I did. The attire fits perfectly for the United Empire, with at least as far as just like matching everyone in. We've got that green there. As long as there's green and black in there, it pretty much works for what I was going for. So this is another one of Federation sculpts for the Will Ospreay, which went with a longer hair. The Austin torso I do think is a little bit big. I think the AJ Styles Ultimate torso works, and I've been using the Seth Rollins size torso for customs, but at the time when I made this, I was really happy. It is pretty, it's beat up, like the decals a little beat up, and it's not my best custom of him, but I still really like it. It's one that's on my shelf. It fits the collection really well. I really like it. Actually, these weren't even Seth Rollins legs. I made this out of spare pieces, so it's like Apollo Crews thighs. And then the kick pads, I don't remember, but those are also not Seth Rollins kick pads because they have the new ones, because they have the rotation on them. So maybe they're older Rollins kick pads, but he does have the Rev Pro Championship belt that I got from Chaos Wrestling Club. I did a full review of a bunch of belts from him that I've picked up, and I think they're fantastic. I do need some more belts for the rest of the group though, so maybe we'll pick up some New Japan like heavyweight and junior heavyweight belts, but we've got a deck. I'll deck these guys out in full gear, get some t-shirts or something eventually. Elite Threads has some pretty cool United Empire jerseys, soccer, cricket jerseys, available on his site. But last thing I want to do is just get everyone up here together and get them all posed. So let's take a look. And there is everyone. And like I said, the common bond I tried to get with all these attires is just the different green and black, obviously. There's a lot of different directions I could go. But like I said, these guys are a group, and they're spread out, and they're not necessarily, they're not always interacting. I think the only ones in AEW are Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. Mark Davis, I believe, is still out with injury. But then, Cobb, Great Okan, they've popped in. TJP and Aaron Henare, I don't think have ever been in AEW. I could be wrong. I mean, maybe they had a one-off appearance, but I don't think they've made it. But just having these guys, just like the Bullet Club, they have different guys, different promotions in the indies, but I think these look fantastic together. So that is going to wrap everything up today. Upcoming, I am going to be looking at the top 50 customs in my collection again, and I'm excited to look at that. I'm going to take a look at all of my ultimates. I've got a lot planned I'm excited to get to, but you guys have any comment suggestions, throw them down below. I would love to hear it. If you made it all the way to the end of the video today, thank you very much. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate it. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.